Hello, everybody. This is Eliz-sha Keating from WisdomSeekers.net. Emphasis on .net because we're not a .com. And we're here today with a live interactive. One question, please. And we are. What's the word?
Nothing as of right now.
No. What's we're enabled?
Oh, we have super chat.
We have super chat enabled. So if you want to pay with that, please feel free to put the question with the money. Otherwise, we'll lose you. And there's so many people that come on. It rolls really fast, and sometimes we miss you. If we do that, just speak up and say, "Hey, you missed my question." We don't mind. And this is for 1 hour from 6 o'clock till 7 o'clock Pacific time. So nobody's on yet, so I'm okay.
Ramble away.
Yeah, what do I ramble about? Oh, I haven't got much to ramble about today. Oh, I have been making, I do wrapping, stone wrapping, right? And this is a crystal, and I've put it into a weave rather than a wrapping, and I'm quite pleased with it. It's sort of, you see, if you look at it, you can't really see. At least I can't see. But there's sort of a hello, Alanta.
And Tati.
Hi.
And Courtney. And Elantra asks, has Marquise been thinking about texting me?
Let me find out.
Also,
it's been crossing his mind more than a few times, actually. He's kind of hemming and hawing, but he kind of breaks out in a cold sweat at the idea of texting. Metaphorically, not really, because I guess he kind of likes you, but he's not sure of what you will feel about him. You know, it's hard on men when they have to reach out and they don't know if you're going to accept them or turn them down. So, yes, go for it.
Lily Guild says hi. Eyes Like Stars says hello.
Hello.
Norma Leobi says hello. Tati Taurus Taro says, may I ask how Jay feels about me?
I think he's kind of excited. There's a wellspring of happiness in there. Maybe it's partly summer, but it's like he's thinking about taking a chance. Remember that Tom Cruise event where he jumped on Oprah Winfrey's sofa? It's kind of a bit like that, kind of irrational joy and happiness. So look forward. It might be just a summer fling because it's a lovely time to have a fling, but it might move into something bigger. All right.
Angela Patterson says hi.
Hi, Angela.
Courtney Milan asks, my boyfriend has a deportation order and plans on leaving to Mexico on his own. Will he ever be able to come back to the United States in the future?
I believe I believe that if he goes to the channels, it might slow him down, but a little bit. But honestly, there's so many. They're so overcrowded. The government officials that they're going to miss a few things here and there. And so even if they suggested he not be allowed back in, I don't believe that's a big deal. Keep in touch with him. I mean, Skype or whatever you use, Messenger, for a little while at least, to see how things continue to grow. It might be that you fall out of love, or it could be that things become deeper. But I do see him being able to come back to the States. And I'd like to give you a date, but I have to say in due course. Okay?
Elliot Garcia asks, "Hello, how are you doing today?"
Thank you. I'm doing pretty good.
Crystal T asks, "I applied for a new job within the same company. Do you feel this will be a good move for me?"
I think it'd be very stressful at first. And the waiting will be the worst part, whether you get the job or not. There seems to be a little bit of stress involved. Not a great deal, not oh my god I can't handle it, but just a little bit more than average everyday stress. Uh, Once you get there, you think that the stress will turn into excitement, and it feels like a good positive thing for you, at least at the beginning. Right now, I can't see beyond what you're going through, but it feels exciting. Okay.
Angela Patterson asks, "My question is, will Nicole accept me as her tenant or should I keep looking?"
Well, she nodded her head yes when I asked her, and she seems quite positive about it. She seems to think that you would be a good addition. Are you, if you're close to the same age, I think she can see you two having some quality time together. Unless somebody comes along that she absolutely falls in love with, I think you're pretty. It looks like a pretty good go. Okay.
um, Gypsy Moore says hello.
Hi, Gypsy.
Debbie says hello, Elisha and Elle.
Hi, Deb.
Lily Guild asks, "So there's this guy who hacked onto Hendrix's phone and harassed me. Can you tell me what he looks like or who he is and his name and zodiac sign?"
I can tell you what he looks like. He's got glasses, brown face, maybe not a buzz cut, but like the hair standing up a little bit up high, sort of stands straight up high, but there's no. It's like it's cut back here. He's kind of a round person. I mean, he's not built like somebody who's made for speed or swimming. It's almost like he's a basement crawler. So whoever he is,
He's a sad little boy.
he's a sad little boy. I don't feel that beyond harassing and getting a kick out of making you feel bad at this point, he's not dangerous. Doesn't mean that he won't evolve in the future, but right now you're fine.
We have a $10 super chat from Maria Herrera
Thanks.
saying, "Thank you, blessings."
Blessings to you too, Maria.
Sharon B asks, "Will I be moving back towards my hometown anytime this year or next?"
So what you're telling me is you're going to make it happen. So I would say kind of a qualified yes at this point. You have every intentions of finding what you're looking for, a job or whatever in that general direction. It's not like you actually make it to your hometown, but it's like within easy driving distance to your hometown. It doesn't mean that after that you won't end up in your hometown, but it's not like it's like on the doorstep. Okay? And that's because of your efforts and your hard your drive to make it happen and believing in it. Uh, so basically what you do is you say a keyword like I have chosen to move back towards my hometown, so let it be. And say that 2 or 3 times and forget about it. But visualize what you want. You can write down a list of everything you want, what kind of home you want, what kind of community you want. Write it down, and then just say it. It's sort of like cosmic ordering. It's what it's called. Okay,
You ready for the next one?
I am.
Elliot Garcia asks, "Can you tell me why I'm having bad dreams?" Shameless plug.
Well, what was the first name? You said it so fast.
Elliot.
Elliot. You've tapped into some really strange energies. And again, my daughter made a point, shameless plug. You would probably do well to ask for a reading on this one. You've tapped into some energies that can be easily gotten rid of. It's listen to the dreams. I have a dream interpreter. She's excellent on my website, Elizabeth or Aunt Beth, one or the other. She can tell you. She's our dream lady, and she walks in dreams. But also there is some energy that needs to be cleared out. If you know how to clear it out, or if you have friends who do clearings and of negative energy, I would go with that. Otherwise, message me and I will help you.
Gabriela Ruiz.
Hi,
asks,
Gabriela.
"Is the guy I'm currently dating my life partner?"
You have questions about him. You're not 100% sure that he is the one for you. If you've been with him for over 3 months and you have questions, then no. If you are dating him and it's less than 3 months, then the potential is still there that he could be. He doesn't actually appear to be a horrible human being. That came out terribly wrong. He doesn't appear to be a negative human being. Just there's something about him that you're not 100% sure is what you want to spend your life with. Pay attention to your heart, ask your heart, and go from there. All right? Because there's always more fish in the sea. I think that's a website actually, a dating website, but there are always more people out there for you to meet if you're not satisfied with this one. All right.
Reham El Fayet asks, "Is my overseas crush my life partner?"
I'm not going to, I don't ever do this, but it feels like yes. Usually I ramble on for a long time, but you just came out and said yes. So does it mean that it'll be easy? Not necessarily. Does it mean that the relationship will get together easily? I suspect when she's overseas and you're not, it will take a bit of work, but if it's the real thing, then of course it's worth it. I do have a little experience with dating outside of your own historical community. You have to learn to understand and hear what they're saying from their level, because I married a French Canadian, and some of the words he would use in were were very similar in French, and they'd have a certain level of power, but in English they'd have a whoomp power, and we miscommunicated quite a bit. So communication is key when you're working with two different cultures.
And it's the one asking the question is the female, the crush is the male.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I just not very good at distinguishing names.
Maria Herrera says hi. Kesha W, hello.
Hi,
I
Kesha.
would like to know what's coming towards me in love. Thank you.
Ooh, it's coming fast. That's all I could, you asked the question what's coming towards you, and I saw this car and it's coming fast. The headlights on and it's speeding towards you. So the fact that it came with a car would suggest that this guy likes vehicles, but it's almost like you're going to collide somehow, not necessarily in a car, but it's the meeting will be momentous. I think you'll know when this happens. Good luck on that one. It should be fun.
Rahim says no worries and thank you.
I'm really sorry. I'm horrible with the names.
Lily Gillary got you. Leah Smith asks, if Jose tries to come back into my life, what will his intentions be?
I suspect you know what they are, and it's entirely up to you what you do with it. You'll probably be happier to give it a hard pass. That's my opinion, and I'm giving you my opinion. His intentions are not purely honorable, let's put it that way. Doesn't mean he won't switch around and change his mind when he actually sees you. But at this point, his intentions are less than honorable. Okay.
Debbie asks, my wonderful son Jack has been in his first job for almost a year. Will he find something he really wants to do?
Yeah, you're right. It's stepping stone. He's not. He's looking, and he's not going to rush into any job. He doesn't want to switch this job for one that will be sort of equal. He has strong aspirations, but he's also clever. He's not going to, like I said, he's not going to rush. He's going to take his time. He's going to look for what he wants. He might get frustrated with the job, but he also knows that he has a job, and that part pleases him. I mean the paycheck, right? There does appear to be something coming, probably And time-wise, I'm not great, but late September.
Our next question comes from Alfred Grimmett. He asks, I just want to know, will I continue working on a good job, or will I be financially secure, basically?
Okay. So I'm going to give you a suggestion, Alfred. Sometimes you're less than grounded. If you can consciously learn how to ground, there's many websites out there. Right now, if you're in the Western Hemisphere, walking barefoot on the earth, laying on the earth, is a really good way to ground. Holding certain stones in your pocket is a really good way to ground. Breathing and grabbing air, because grabbing air, it's a band-aid, but it brings your two hemispheres together really quickly, and you're balanced for a short while. If you can keep yourself grounded, keep yourself focused, then they really like you. But you have a tendency occasionally to drift, and it's noticeable. Maybe learn to drift without showing that you're drifting quite so much, but grounding would be far better, because the work you do, the quality work you do, is really good. So the fact is, you could probably do a tiny bit more, but because of the daydreaming or the not being grounded, you kind of miss a bit. If you can do the grounding, your potential for staying in a really good paying job is really high. You also want to be very careful that you stay grounded and don't cause yourself an accident, cut yourself or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Okay.
Our next question comes from Kristen Meek.
Hi, Kristen.
Would it be safe for me to live in Rosarito, Mexico, or Ensenada, Mexico?
Ensenada?
Mm-hmm.
So Rosita, Mexico?
Rosita, Mexico.
Do you know where that is?
Mm-mm. They're both towns or cities we've never heard of.
Ensenada, we've no. If you can find a group of expats in Rosita, you should be fine. You do want to get a house. In Mexico, you can get houses that have walls around them. You would want to get a house, a walled in space. Ensenada. A little more opportunity in Ensenada, I believe. But again, the same thing applies. You would want to surround yourself with people you were 100% sure you were safe. We lived in Mexico, my family and I. We loved it. We would go places their angels feared to tread, and we were always safe. Doesn't mean but this was 20 years ago. So I do believe, though, if you make friends with the certain local people in Ensenada and a few expats, then it would also work very well. Ensenada might be slightly safer for you I'm not sure why, but when I asked which one would be the safest, they lifted up Ensenada over Rosita. I do. I love Mexico. I felt like it was my home, but we had to come back because of kids in school.
You ready for our next one?
Yes, I am. Sorry.
Kylie Brown asks, I'm currently renting out a room from a guy. How does he feel about me?
So there's a mixed message there. He kind of likes you, and he's kind of iffy. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly. Exactly which one is the stronger, the iffy or the liking. I think the fact is he likes you, and that makes him iffy of you. He enjoys your band. He enjoys talking to you, and but he has this. Okay, this is what it appears to me in the energies. He has this fear of commitment, and and I'm not sure if that's what you're asking or not. He's not going to. He's not going to give up his way of life for anybody at this point in time. But he does find you. He doesn't mind you at all. Not what you wanted, I hope. I think.
Our next one comes from Cynthia Cordova. When will he reach out?
Was he one of these guys that's on the fence a while back? Because it feels like he came close, then walked away, and came close and walked away. I think there's a lot of people, a lot of problems with relationships right now. The energy is not conducive to relationships simply because we're in Chiron is in retrograde, and that has to do with healing. Healing generally has to do with relationships. And right now, because I do a lot of readings, I know this is what's happening. A lot of relationships are being torn apart. So right now, you don't truly want guys or girls to reach out to you and and form a relationship, because the chances are that it will go awry very quickly. You want to wait till Chiron and Mercury go back from retrograde. I expect Mercury's always retrograde, so I wouldn't worry as much about that. But Chiron is a powerful energy. So he's interested. Be patient. He's a little bit scared. They're all a little bit scared because you make a huge change when you make a commitment. And most people have been in relationships and they know that it's a lot of work. So they're not going to. Most people are not going to jump into it quickly anymore. Okay.
Caitlin Brooks asks, what's been holding my mom back from contacting me?
She doesn't actually know what to say to you. It feels like she recognizes that there has been miscommunications, or the communications have not worked as well as they should. And she is feeling a little, the feeling I get from her is sheepish. She's not, she doesn't know how to move forward, basically. Uh, if you reach out to her, she will be snappish. So don't, not at this point, don't reach out to her. Uh, she has to work through her stuff in her own time. But, and I know this sounds like an oxymoron, and you probably don't, but she also feels a great deal of caring for you. Maybe she wasn't, it's possible she wasn't the best mom in the world, but her, on a soul level, she loves you.
You ready for our next one?
And not quite. She still needs to work. I guess I am. She just needs to work through some stuff.
Okay. Our next one comes from Lakshmi.
Hi, Aparna.
Hello, wise lady. I caught you. I dropped a mail to the managers at work with CEO and CC asking for American work, U.S. work.
Mm-hmm.
What does it lead me to?
They like your shit spa. They, um, they're actually going to consider it seriously. Probably more farther west than where you have been. But yeah, they, it's, they kind of laughing and smiling, but they're not going. It does appear that they will consider it quite strongly. Okay, and I haven't forgotten. I did actually forget. I've been busy, but I haven't forgotten.
Alicia P. 89, 98, 98, not 89, 98.
It's no dyslexia in our family.
No, not even a little bit. Asks, hello, will Justin and I get back together?
Actually, the potential is very high. I'd say at this point, the potential is like 85% chance that you will. He actually seems to be considering it seriously and is actually interested in doing it and getting back together. Again, keyword is communications. Doesn't mean as soon as you think of it, you have to talk about it. Sometimes patience is a better part of valor in in communications, and patience is part of communicating. But you do need to be open to talking about things. But always wait until the energy is less ruffled before you talk to people. People rush in to get things straight while the energy's still high, and be patient. Ground, say om, whatever, but be patient. Okay. All right.
Puppy's gonna puppy.
Yeah.
Our next question comes from Rachel Spalding. She asks, "Hi, will I move later this year, please?"
If you want to move, you will be moving because I see you dancing, and that's always a good sign with you want something because it's a happy dance. And the feeling is, with you move, it will be to a place that you really enjoy and really like.
The next one?
Yeah,
Okay.
she didn't ask more than that, right?
No. Stars like eyes like stars.
Like I say, not dyslexia in this family.
uh, Asks, will me and the Sagittarius have a child together?
The potential is really high. I actually, when I looked in the energy, I actually saw you with a tummy, and both of you together. So yes, I think the potential extremely high. So if you really want a child, that's good. If you don't, take extra protection. Because children are, well, if you're 100 years old, you're still a mom. Let's put it that way. They're forever. Okay.
Nancy Jones asks, is the police watching me or investigating me?
There is, I think there is somebody across the street who is watching you carefully, and they're doing it with intent. Um, Sort of like plain clothes, maybe undercover, cover, cover. But it does appear that there is somebody watching you. Whether it's a policeman, I don't get a police uniform or anything, but somebody is watching you, which means do be very careful.
Ready for the next one? Linda Musso asks, I'm homeless, no food, I'm sleeping in my car, I'm scared. Do you see me staying with someone? Will someone help me? And how? Thank you.
Maybe you don't want to hear this, but go to a homeless shelter. At least you will get fed. Um, this is a temporary event. You will find that it's very difficult, and I'm sorry that this is happening for you. But this is where you start to rise back up. Like I said, go to a homeless shelter, get some food. You can't do anything with your starving. Uh, you can overcome this. You can move forward. I do see a job, not a great job, but a job where you can just begin to get on your feet. What you're doing is a really tough part of life, but it is meant to jumpstart you into another area, another level of knowing and understanding. Okay, again, go to a homeless shelter, get some food. It's, it is there for a reason, and maybe some warmer clothes. Well, this time of the year you don't need warmer clothes, but maybe there might be something there for you, shower and things like that. Something that will make you feel a little more secure. It is not a forever thing, it's temporary. You do have the potential to move up and out as you choose. Okay.
Um, Rachel Snow says hi. Maria Herrera says hello. A message from a message from A message from. Do you have a message from my deceased grandmother, Edna? Thank you.
From Maria?
Maria Herrera. Yeah.
She's kind of scolding you. I don't know why exactly, but it's done with love. Um, what are you saying? Basically, she's saying everybody goes through a little bit of a hard time. It's part of being alive. We're looking after everything. Don't worry so much. You're just making yourself sick. And everything is going to be fine. It might not be fun what's going through or what you're going through, but it will end up fine. No harm will ever be allowed to happen. Okay?
Ready? Rachel Snow wants to know if she will have any more children.
So I got 3. If you have less than 3, then you're going to have more children. If you have more than 3, you're not going to have more children. Um, there is a child that wouldn't mind coming in if you want the child to come in. It's a little girl in the energies, anyhow. And she would love to be with you. So I think this is a matter between you and your child, whether she comes in or not. And doesn't mean that she'll come in as a girl. It's just in the energy she is a little girl, and she calls you mommy. Okay, that was a dirty blow. I shouldn't have added the last one.
Erin Liu says, "Good evening, Eliz-sha. I
Hi,
have
Erin.
been trying to take care of my well-being, like changing my eating habits. Am I going about it the right way? Thank you so much."
Actually, you're doing a really good job, and it's not something you learn overnight. It's something that you learn as you go along, and the answer is you're doing a very good job. Just be aware that occasionally you're going to slip back, and that's perfectly all right. Occasionally, because occasionally you're going to go out and buy that piece of crap food, and then you're going to eat it, and it's going to taste like, oh God, how could I ever eat this? So it's all the experience. But yeah, you're doing a really good job, and I do enjoy watching your puppies. Okay.
Gypsy Moore asks, "I'm preparing to move to North Carolina. Will this move be good for me and my son?"
I believe it will. I mean, every place has its pluses and negatives. There's always going to be experiences, but what came out more than anything was that it was warm and sunny, which is it's always a comfortable feeling. It's going to be a bit difficult at first because it's new. Maybe it's not new, but for your son, it will be a little bit new, and changing and uprooting is always a little bit hard for anybody. Moving across town is at 89% anxiety. Moving to another state, it's got to be over the roof. So be prepared to accept that there will be stress occasionally. There will also be joy and happiness. And if you know people there already, are going to be delighted to know you. If not, you're going to meet people who are going to be delighted to know you. So basically, it appears that it's a positive move for you at this moment. Okay.
Um, Tari Avalos says, "Hello. Will
Hi.
my meeting in August with Arthur go well? I will stay at his place for a few days, and we are just a crush, I guess, for now."
He's very excited because the present is a crush, but he thinks it has a great potential. Whatever you do, pick up after yourself, and other than that, he seems to be fairly simple in that he doesn't expect a lot. He just likes his place to stay tidy. Simple food. He likes a lot of what I'm seeing is salads. He likes to eat salads and things like that. And if you enjoy the same kind of food, not that there won't be other things, of course, because there is substantial meal on the table, but salads was the first thing I saw. Um, he likes to be able to communicate. So, and he likes to be able to talk about different things, basically, is what I'm saying. It's not just communicate, but he likes to talk about things he's read about or he's seen on TV that, and if you have similar interests, you'll be able to answer him quite readily. I see you actually talking back and forth comfortably. So I do believe that the excitement and the pleasure will last beyond on the few days of staying together in his place. As I say, pick up after yourself. Whether he's a neat freak or not doesn't matter. He seems to be that would be just wise for some reason or other. Okay.
Roni says, "Hello. Will I start to see some positivity in my life?"
It seems like you're coming out of what they call a black night of the soul, which is it's actually a black night of the ego, but it doesn't sound so romantic. So yes, you're going to start to see a shift and change in what's happening with you. Um, should be actually appearing now. You just might not be recognizing it, but it's sort of like you're rising out of the dark into a light. You've learned a lot and you've experienced a lot, and it's given you a lot of tools. So bless the dark because it's showing you how beautiful the light can be. And so basically the answer is yes, you're going to start, and it's gradual. It's not like poof, it's gradual. So you might have to look for the edges of light, the positivity, but one day you'll look around and go, oh wow, and I'm here. Okay. Well,
Um, what was the question I just asked you?
about positivity in
Right.
life.
Hold on. The chat has decided to
It
be
moved.
a dork on my computer, so I shall go to my phone.
Yeah, no, it moved. I saw it.
Stand by. I know, but I'm trying to get back to where I the last question I was asked. Sorry, people. Dun, dun, dun,
You
dun, dun.
was it Unstoppable Goddess? Because I don't recognize
No.
that one.
Okay, Gratitude Joy says, "Hi, will S and me get back together this year?"
Yes. There's a 30% chance, actually. There's a lot of communications that would have to be worked on first, and that's just for this year. I didn't ask for a lot next year. Next year's only 6 months away. Not that far. No, it's 5 months, right? Anyhow, it's not very far away because we're almost in the 8th month. Um, there is still a lot of energy between the two of you. It's not finished. He's still at a grumbly stage, so I wouldn't push it at the moment. It's a minor grumbly, but it might possibly be. So if you wait a bit, the chances of it happening do go up, uh, up to like 45-50%. So be patient and see what happens. Next year, the chances are actually higher, or at least later in the season. When I see season towards October, November, the chances rise much higher. I wish that was better news. Okay.
Gabriela Almamia
Hi.
says, "Do you see me in any kind of problem or trouble in the month of August?"
I see you tiptoeing very carefully around events. Don't go in where angels fear to tread. There's something to do with cooking, and that has nothing to do with you being in trouble or not, but it might be something that keeps you out of trouble. Is fact it seems that you're probably a pretty good cook, and cooking seems to be a way of making things right. Okay. I don't actually see a huge problem. It's just like it's the energy of possibilities is there. No?
Unstoppable Goddess says, "Hi, Elisha. My sister, who has been estranged from the family, is leaving rehab to come home tomorrow. Can you see if her guides will reveal how best to reach her at a soul level to help her heal?"
The first thing that came to me was quiet, calm, solitude. Not solitude where she's alone, but not a lot of questions, just acceptance. Um, she still has anger issues or fear. Anger is usually fear. So there might be things she needs to say. Don't necessarily react to them. Don't be hurt by them because they're just her ego or it getting throwing crap out, and she's trying to release it. She's very frightened that she's afraid she won't be accepted just tell her occasionally that you love her. You're my sister, I love you, sort of thing. Say it from the heart, of course. She truly wants to get better. She's not 100% sure she can get better, but she's really trying this time.
Next.
No, let me. I'm not sure. I think there might be just a touch more. Don't go out of your way, but don't put any potential problems in front of her either. I mean, you don't want to baby her. She has to live in the world, but and don't protect her, but don't put potentials that you can easily sidestep in front of her. Okay.
Miriam asks, I want to know what Marwan thinks about me.
Marwan?
Yeah.
Intrigued. Very, very curious, intrigued. It's, likes your intelligence. Likes your the fact that you do not think like everybody else, and is flatteringly attracted to you. I know that's a funny way of saying it, but he is flatteringly attracted to you. If you're expecting a relationship, just do it really one step at a time. This guy does not jump into things. All right.
The Hawaiian goddess asks,
I love that name.
hello, I am a Libra. Do you see me and Cameron reconciling?
Not at the moment. At the moment, he's still cranky and would not be in your best interests. Fast forward a few months, and it might be that you find that he where he thought not so positive, he's starting to think, she was kind of a cool chick or person. I with goddess, I assume you're a lady. It seems that you can be a little in his opinion, you can be a little different from the majority, and it threw him off, and he wasn't sure how to deal with it. But after he gets over his what the hey energy, he kind of will think about it and think maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it was kind of cool. Okay. Does not like to argue about anything, Cameron. So if you want to discuss, you can discuss. You cannot argue.
Next.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney Milan says, do you see my lover coming back to the U.S. in the future if he decides to spend time in his country?
I think he can. I don't think it'll be in the next year or in the next block of time. Like I say, keep in touch with him. Find out if it's real. It might be that the two of you have a way of fixing it so that he can come back in a legal way. I feel the energy between the two of you is still fairly positive. And the fact that you asked this tells me that you still definitely like him. So and let me check in with him actually. Um, he's a little stressed case right now, but he definitely likes you too. Okay, so keep in touch with him.
Next.
Yep.
Our last question comes from Mimi, and she asks, "Will Felicia try to write me up for the missing key?"
Felicia is a bit of a nasty person. Uh, she's a bit of a biatch, actually. And I hate to say this, but I believe so. But it appears that you will be either they don't give a crap, or you were exonerated, because it doesn't appear to go anywhere. And I think it's just people look at her and go, huh, yeah, sure. But if anything comes of it, it'll be a sort of a pat on the hand, because they have to, not because they can't. They actually think so. All right. I don't see it as I think you can make it into not a big deal. Hey, Jen.
So that was all of our questions.
Awesome. It's right on the nose too.
Yeah. Gypsy Moore sends a $5 super chat saying thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Unstoppable Goddess said, thank you so much. It's been, and she just sent a $9.99 super chat saying,
That's cool. Thank you.
It's been hard and I love her so much. This message meant everything to me, or means everything to me.
She's a good, her heart is good. I can feel her heart, but she's scared. Yeah.
And
maybe get her a kitty. Just what you need, right? But maybe something that she can love, that she needs to look after, but isn't totally responsible for. And that was a suggestion. It's not a necessity.
And we can say goodbye.
Well, awesome. And I saw Jen was on. She said hello to you.
Yes, I saw that. I already said.
What's over there?
Nancy Jones is.
Oh, okay. And Rosita. Yeah, no, we lived in Mexico. It was 20 years ago. A different energy then. Ensenada. Do definitely find yourself. And I know this sounds really strange, but I keep seeing a German Shepherd. If you can get yourself a dog, you should be fine. I love Mexico. I love the people in Mexico.
Basically, you want to get to know the gangsters in Mexico.
No, you don't want to get. You want to get to know the people who, if they like you, you're fine. And so just get to know the expats, but learn the language. And they don't care if you speak the language really well. They do care that you try. They do care that You try to understand their way of dealing. Don't try to be an American. Try to, honest to God, we don't try to be Canadian or American. Just try, but try extremely hard to understand their culture. And they are wonderful people, but their culture is very different from ours. I love the food. The food is always the best way to get to know other people. I couldn't. I didn't use butter for 3 months when I
Because
moved
you
down
know,
there
you know the word for it.
because I didn't know what the word was for it. We had a blast. We did. We had a really good time. The first words my kids learned was "popo head" because the neighbor guy taught my kids that was the name of the cat.
That he was looking for.
And they're running up and down the street calling "popo head, popo head."
To be fair, we were young children.
To be fair, they were, but I didn't know either.
Anyhow, we have to take our dogs out.
Oh yeah,
and
we
we also
do.
have to eat food
So
and finish other work.
namaste, namasko, and it's been
Bye,
a great
everybody.
pleasure.
Thank you for joining.
Bye.